Hey there YouTube. Today we are going to be making the second part in the video that I created yesterday, and this is the result of making the waterproofing. It ended up turning into this hard candy-like material here, but it's still pretty soft. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see my finger indentations here. So, and it smells just like turpentine. But this is one of the shelter halves that we're going to be getting waterproofing today. I got this for $8, and you can see why. It's missing the original ropes. You can see that's 550 cord along the, where normally you would have a rope to stake down, but whoever had this before replaced it with 550 cord. I'm going to go ahead and make some repairs on that. So let's get to it. Let me put you on the tripod. There we go. Alright, still seeing the frame. Alright, I'm just going to do this real fast. I'm not going to do the whole thing because it'd be painfully slow for everybody, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the process that I use to repair most of my outdoor equipment. And as you've seen on my other videos, this is my 50-pound braided nylon fishing cord and my yarn darners that I use. This is a different one that I keep in my survival tin, but basically I just do this just like you would do a fishing hook twist. And if you don't know a fisherman's knot, then, well, I guess I'll have to show you. But I use a basic fisherman's knot, right? Twist 3 or 4 times, bring it through the hole that it creates close to the eyelet. Alright, and I have a fly crawling in my arm. There you go. And then, I don't know if you can see that, pulled it through that hole, and then back over on itself here. See? And then you just pull tight, just like so. And then this is not a traditional sewing knot, but this is what I use. Alright, I'm going to measure out about 3 feet of this stuff. Use my favorite Gerber knife that I can't find the replacement for. Let's get a little cut here on the table. Away from it. Like so. Alright, now this is something traditional. This is something I learned in home ec. It's harder to do with this thicker stuff, but you pull it around your finger like so, and then you roll it off of your finger. Now this twine kind of wants to fight you, so you gotta really use both hands to roll it on itself. Keep rolling it until you get several twists. Alright, and then you just pull, and I was unsuccessful. So I'm going to stop this now, and I'll bring you back when I have the knot. Oh, wait a minute, never mind. Never mind, I have success right there. Alright, cool. And I just created like this little knot. It's going to create, to keep it in the fabric, and I'm going to start up under the fabric here. Just like so. And you know what? I take that back. I'm going to stop the video right now, and I'm going to make this torn seam a little bit prettier. Alright, I'm back. Basically what it is, I cut off a lot of the loose shit, and then I just burnt with my lighter. Kind of make it more seamly. No pun intended. Alright, I'm just going to push this through this area here. And what this will do is, you'll see that the knot that I created will be between the fabric, so it's nice and pretty. And then I'm just going to do basic, nothing fancy, kind of like a loop-de-loop cross stitch, and that's done. First we're going to get these 2 seams together in the first place. Wish I had a thimble. I sound like a girl. That doesn't bust my lighter. Get through there. I should do it like this. Come on. Looks like I'm gonna have to get through this other stuff. Good lord, this stuff is hard to push through. I really wish I had a thimble. I'll go through right here. Come on now. Come on, yarn darner. Get through there. There we go. Alright. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Lord. There we go. Alright. That was a fight. I'm just going to bring the two ends together here. And then I'm going to go on the reverse side. Puncture it. It's pretty close here. Just to kind of double up where I'm going to start my stitches. Right through there. Whew. Fighting me. It's fighting me. Alright. Now to do a cross stitch here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and kind of make an exaggerated sort of, I don't know, like zigzag or diagonal. Like that. Push it through. God. A sail needle would probably be better for this. But I don't have a sail needle, I have these yarn darners. I might need a freaking pair of pliers. Okay, I cut the frame, had to go get a pair of pliers here. Never done something with this thick a material. Alright, so I made a cross stitch. I don't know if you can see it right here in this frayed material. So, got this cross stitch going. Pull tight around the back here. Push back through. Use my tools, work smarter, not harder. Pull that through, and instead of doing like another diagonal, we're going to cross back over right here, and that'll basically create a cross stitch. Come on through here. There we go. Whew. So this is going to take a while. Get that off there. There we go, and that was one stitch. And I'm going to keep doing that, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. And I'm not a very good sewer, but with this 50-pound test here, this will hold pretty damn good. So I'm going to finish this off how my home ec teacher taught me. Basically, you take your needle and you push it through one of your stitches here, up underneath it, just one. Alright. You take your thread, 1, 2, 3, pull it through. Oops, hit the camera. And pull it nice and tight up into there. And where's the knife? Here we go. And then we'll cut it. And then, bam. Pretty good, nice little fix. So that's what we had to do before that. And then we've got two different kinds of grommet repair kits here. We'll see which one applies to canvas better. We got Ozark Trail grommet kit here, and then a tarp canopy grommet kit. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll bring you back once I figure out how to do those. Okay, so now we have a new grommet inside this to secure it with a tent stake. I ended up finding that this tarp canopy cargo lock kit worked best. I bought this at Walmart. Basically what you do is you take the piece of material here and some kind of a hammer, my roofing hatchet, and you can see I have a piece of wood stuck in there, but basically you put the material over the wood, put the cut or the punch or whatever over the material and pound through it till you have a nice hole cut through it. Alright, once that's accomplished, you take your rings here, you take one grommet and one washer like this. Alright, you push the grommet in this nice little holder, holds it steady through the hole you created in the fabric, and then this with the side up, and imagine that the fabric is between these two. Insert the male end into here and pound it down until this folds over the grommet. Okay, now that being said, we can finally get to the whole point of this video, which is waterproofing my canvas. So I'll bring you back once I have all the material set up for that. Okay, now I got everything ready. Now, even though this material is pretty soft and malleable on its own, I do have, here, let me back out. Oh, wrong way. Oh, I'm already out. Whatever, fuck it. I have a heat gun here, and what this is going to do is I'll put this on low heat. Just kind of melt this top layer. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's starting to glisten. And you can reheat this back over a fire if you wanted to. I just find that this heat gun will work well. And during the second part of this operation, you'll see another reason why these heat guns work well. So you don't have to worry about putting this stuff in your dryer, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to heat up this top layer, just like so. Dip my paintbrush in. Careful, because this is hot now. And smear it all over this material here. Try to be as uniform as possible. And I'm not going to go through this whole thing on camera because that would be painful for you and me. So I'll bring you back once I'm done and ready for the next step. Okay, we're back. Now I got this whole thing coated. You can see how it's got this thin layer of white wax. I spent a little extra time along the ridge line here where the buttons are. This will be the top of the tent. And a little extra time along all the seams to make them a little extra waterproof. And before I started, my material was about right up to here, so I use about that much for an entire shelter half, which isn't too bad. Like I said, you could put this over a fire and melt it, but I prefer to use a heat gun and do it little by little. I find that I waste a lot less with it that way. So I'm going to put you back on the tripod and I'll show you the last part to this entire process. Alright, using the heat gun, putting it on low here, I'm going to show you. Get it next to the material, and instead of having to put this in your dryer, you can just use the heat gun without burning your canvas here. Nice and low, nice and steady. And allow that wax to really get into the fabric here. You can see it getting darker. Just watch out, don't burn your hands. And I'll just go ahead and do this to the entire piece of canvas and retreat as I see necessary. And I'll bring you back once this thing is dried and cured. Alright, here's the moment of truth. This is the two shelter halves assembled. This is the exact same thing I slept in when I was in basic training. Basically, like I said, they snap at the ridge lines here. And you snap one end closed and leave one end open so you can enter and exit. And it's kind of hard to see in here. Let me turn on the light. Pew! Alright, hope that's enough light. That's what the inside of this looks like. And there's no floor. And one guy will sleep over here, and another will sleep over here. And you're down in the dirt with the bugs. Well, basically, you can see I waterproofed both sides. I did a better job on this side than I did on my shittier side. This was the one I practiced on. You can see the blotches where I applied too much in places and didn't really spread it as much as I needed. But here comes the moment of truth here. I'm going to simulate a light drizzle on one side. And basically what you can see is the water beading off here, not absorbing into the material, just like this. And that's what you want. Just rolling right off. And where it pulls up, it will eventually soak into the fabric. This isn't waterproofing, doesn't last forever. We'll have to reapply after so many soakings. Basically, you can just shake it all off, and nothing worse for wear. And I think the other side was a little bit better. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at it beat off. There we go. And see, the great thing about this waterproofing is that instead of using just plain old wax, you get a lot more out of it. The turpentine keeps the bugs away. It acts as a preserve for the material, so you won't get moths eating it. It's a bacterial sort of antibacterial sort of thing, so no fungus and bacteria, or mold rather, can grow on the material, the canvas. And this is what we had left. This is my cordage here, and this is what's left of my paintbrush, all crusted in the wax material. But this is what we have left. We started with it about up to here, so I used about, let's say, half of this stuff. And I did have to apply a second coat to the shittier side of this shelter half here, but it works. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments section. You know, you guys have a great day.